No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Oh, how we feeling, Bronco Nation, on a Thursday morning here at BNN, BroncoNationNews.com. It's an ICCU Thursday. We'll be telling you all about Idaho Central Credit Union. Johnny's even got the ICCU green on today, celebrating a big Boise State win last night, 82-65. Johnny Ballgame, host of Prater in the Ball Game. You'll hear him 3 o'clock today, as you do every day on 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. And Johnny, quick turnaround from last night, but much more enjoyable to talk about this team and the way they're playing now than earlier in the season. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. I think everybody in Bronco Nation is going to be talking about this basketball team right now, you know, with their buddies, in their text groups, at work, at the water cooler, wherever, BJ. They're playing, I think, their best ball of the year. I think they finally found a rhythm. I think players are now really knowing their roles. Omar played great last night, right? Let me throw that in there right now. It was nice to get some old school Omar physicality and grown man stuff down there. And they shot well. They defended extremely well. 65 points to Utah State. That's great. They only had one player, Falslev, who I think is one of the 3, 4, 5 best players in this league. That kid is really tough. He's good, and they did a good job on him, I thought, for the most part, 19 points, but no one else hurt them at all. Keeping Martinez to 10, I mean, that's like holding Tyson Dagenhart to 10. Boise State's probably not going to win too many of those games. So defensively, it was there, and here you are, BJ, home stretch, and you're playing your best ball of the year. You're feeling good about this team. You're healthy. Here we go.
Josh says the crowd was electric last night. Tyree Felder says those are the kinds of crowds that give me hope for basketball in this community. And Johnny, last night, big crowd. Hunter says that's why we need the crowd to be loud every game. That was we could tell pretty early on, Johnny. There was a buzz in the arena. The place packed packed up or packed in. The students, hats off to the student section. Your boy Sire Gaines and Latrell Caples, we saw them even in the student section last night from the football team. And early on, a couple calls, a couple things you could just tell right away the crowd was into it, and that was a fun night last night.
That place can pop, man. Everybody knows it who's been there, who's seen Boise State play well and win games like that. I mean, it fires people up. It's not going to be the sign of something like, oh my gosh, this is how it's going to be. But it'll be better than that on Friday, a week from today. It'll be better than that. It's Friday night. It's Colorado State, who's good. It's Tyson Degenhardt's last game. Omar Stanley and Alvaro as well. It'll be an emotional senior night, and then Tyson Degenhardt is going to have to try to bottle those emotions up. The whole team will, and then go play well and beat Colorado State and get to the Mountain West tournament for the first time in the Leon Rice era, BJ, on a 2-game win streak going into that conference tournament. I think that's going to be a big factor. But the emotion last night, that's a damn tough place to play. Ask any coach, ask any player, ask any fan who's participated in that environment. It gets loud. I think Utah State fans were accusing Boise State of artificially pumping in sound last night. So, no, they weren't. That place just gets loud. It does. It's 3 levels. It comes right down on the floor. And I've seen it way louder than it was last night. Go back to some of those James Webb dunks on a half-court alley-oop pass from Derek Marks or something. That place would light up, BJ. But last night, and hey, man, Friday night's going to be a blast. I have no reservations that game won't be sold out, and they're going to pump this team up, and here they go. I mean, you wish you could have had a couple of those. They lost 3 games in the last 10 seconds. You could add 1, maybe 2 of those back. You're feeling a lot better. You just don't have any wiggle room left. You just don't. If you won a couple of those games, you would have, but that's okay. You just need to win out. And then you finish the season, what would that be? 15-5 in this league. And I think if you would have told you and I that in October, you're going to go 15-5 in the Mountain West, you're like, okay, you should be in. That should be good enough. And let's see if everything else comes with it. But that's fun. I always love covering basketball games with an environment like that.
Now, I did just triple check. It's the first time since 2015, or it would be, Johnny, if they can win a couple of these last couple of games here. But in 2015, remember they won 14 out of 15 games to get in the tournament. That's the year they lost to Dayton in Dayton. But they won, it looks like, 6 in a row to end the regular season there. So you have to go back to 2015, and then before that, it never happened in the Mountain West era. Boise State joined the Mountain West in 2012, so it would be only the second. They've only done it one time, literally have a winning streak of more than 1 game going into the Mountain West tournament since they joined the Mountain West. So, they'll be entering the Mountain West tournament, you would think, on an unprecedented high here. But, again, we'll get to this. The next 2 games shouldn't be a problem, but Air Force game's always a little sneaky. But, I mean, Colorado State, they're a good team. I get it, but you're at home. It's senior night, and Ken Pom does now project in their rankings for Boise State to win all 3 games and finish 23-8. And I guess we'll just, but I want to talk about this game, but big picture, Johnny, you now look at the net ranking. They're up to number 43. They're now 7-6 in the first 2 quadrants. They've got, 4 wins over teams that are in the tournament. And, those top 2 being Clemson and St. Mary's, both top 25 net wins. And you have the recent wins over New Mexico. And a lot of people, bracketologists and just basketball reporters, people last night on Twitter were saying, hey, find me a team that's had a better 8 days than Boise State. And there was a lot of love for Boise State. I'll be curious. I don't think Joe Lenardi updates his bracket till tomorrow. We'll see what your boy Jerry Palm does and some of the others. But, I mean, if they're not on the right side, they're first or second team out probably now in most brackets here. And still a lot of work to do, but certainly I think they've put themselves in position, Johnny, here where if they can win these last 3 games, they're going to head down to Vegas, literally right on the bubble here, man. That 4 tournaments in 4 years is back in play. I'm
not convinced, though, that winning these next 3 games, and what would you say that would be their final record? 25-8?
23-8 going into the tournament.
They'd be 23-8. And I remember telling you in October, find a way. You just can't have 10 losses on Selection Sunday. You got to be 9 or single-digit losses. And that would, okay, cool. If they have 8 losses coming out of the regular season, then that gives them 1 in the conference tournament, and they still enter Selection Sunday with 9 losses. I think that looks better than 10, especially when you're a G5 or mid-major team. In this case, though, BJ, but I just don't trust the committee, and I don't think anybody should. You know, last year we were bought in hook, line, and sinker. We were talking maybe the 7-8 line. Wouldn't shock us to see them on the 6. Well, look at their resume. There are teams that they're projecting 6 that Boise State has a better resume than. Oh, easy peasy. And then all of a sudden you're like Dayton with that resume. So I just don't trust it. And I know the brackets are different. Every year is different because the teams have different grades and whatnot. But to feel really good, like mega confident on Selection Sunday, I think this team's going to have to get all the way to the Mountain West championship game in that tournament and then lose that. Then they can easily, for me, solidify, hey, if you're taking 2 Mountain West teams, Boise is the team we want to take. 1, they're here every year. Leon Rice is doing this, and 2, look what they're doing right now. I know Prater was talking to you about the committee should look at the last 10, 15 games. Where is this tournament right now? Where is this team heading into this tournament right now? And if they do that, Boise State's resume is going to look a lot better. But for Boise State, I would never feel comfortable, for them to do anything or get anywhere on Selection Sunday, as you know, BJ, unless they win the conference tournament. But they're putting themselves in a good spot. And all of a sudden, that conference tournament has a lot more buzz for me.
Yeah, I would agree with what you said there. Yeah, I don't think anyone feels great about the committee picking, doing what they're supposed to do. And last year is perfect evidence of that. And let's be honest, having to play Dayton in Dayton, some of the seedings they've had, they have not gotten the benefit of the doubt over the years. There's no doubt about it. A Texas or a Indiana or some power conference school, if they're sitting there on the line next to Boise State, they're probably going with one of those schools. We just know how this goes right now for the power conferences, and hopefully that's not the case. And you're right. If they can get to the championship game, you'd certainly feel better about it. But if they win these last 3 games, Johnny, and in particular, if they can take care pretty easily, with Air Force and Fresno and help those metrics a little bit, and then cap off senior night in style, you're going to go down there, and the main thing you won't want to do is avoid a bad loss, and we'll get into that. But if they're in the 4-5 game, that's the one nice thing about the 4-5 game. You're going to be playing one of the top teams right off the bat in the first game. So
who are you scared of, too? I mean, who are you scared of? Don't play them. For me, I guess it would be San Diego State, but right now I'm not scared of any team in this league, and I don't think any team is scared of any team in this league. Not just Boise State.
I would say Abe Jackson said it on the postgame show. I mean, there are probably some teams right now looking at Boise State saying, I wouldn't love to play them. I mean, Boise State is ascending here at the right time. I think they're a team that teams are looking at the bracket going, how do we avoid them? But if you're San Diego State, yeah, you already beat them twice. It's a pretty good matchup. Let me know if Magoon Guath plays, and then I'll let you know how I feel about a San Diego State matchup, because he's hurt right now, and they're a much different team if he's not able to go. But yeah, I mean, even the fact that we're talking about this, Johnny, and talking about the bubble and talking about is the committee going to, put them in or screw them? Like, just think about where we were a month ago, man. It was literally January 22nd when they had the rock bottom moment to Colorado State. They've won 7 out of 8 games since. I mean, we are now going to be in March here by the next time Boise State plays, Johnny, and they've lost 1 game since January. I mean, the run that they're on right now, they've won 7 of the last 8, as we said. 6 of those 7 were in the month of February. They went 6-1 in the month of February, and to go from 13-7, 5-4 in league to now be 20-8 and 12-5 in league. And Johnny, I mean, you go up and down the box score, they're getting contributions, like you said, from everybody. And that's what's exciting right now. I mean, Emmanuel Ugbo, who people last game were like, oh, just start Stanley, stop playing Ugbo. And Ugbo comes in and gets a couple buckets right off the bat. Well, then Stanley comes in. He gets a couple buckets right off the bat. I thought Stanley and Ugbo were providing minutes. Pearson Carmichael is now proving that he's not just some spot-up three-point shooter. He's driving to the rack and scoring on tough baskets. So he's been super impressive. And then you keep throwing in the contributions of an RJ Keene coming off the bench and what Buchanan has given you. And then obviously you throw in the main guys with Degenhardt and Cardenas, and Andrew Meadow continues to play well. Follows up his 24-point performance against Nevada with 17 last night. So this is the team that was picked to win the conference, Johnny. This was the reason. This was the team that was the preseason favorite to win the league, and they're finally playing like it. And obviously, they're not going to be able to win the league now, and may not be able to get higher than 4th place. But this is the team that everybody saw and thought they could be. And it took a little longer than people wanted, took longer than Leon Rice wanted, but this team is finally coming together and finally playing really good basketball at the perfect time.
Yeah, sometimes you'll question what's going on in the kitchen a little bit, but if the meal comes out and it's tasting like you expected it to, then good. And maybe that's kind of where this team is. It did. And Leon, it feels like, does this. He just totally redeems himself on seasons. He's done it a couple of times in the last few years where everybody just wants to count him out and they want to get all set and they want to get the signs ready and they want to get ready to protest and get him out. And all he does is just go on big win streaks. And they're in a position to do that. They're doing that right now. And maybe this is the year they do win a tournament. I kind of think it'd be interesting if they do go to Dayton, because I think that would give them a good chance to win a tournament game. And that monkey has to get off their back. And at this point, I don't think I would care if it's in Dayton or not. It's a tournament game. But 2 plays last night I thought were very consequential, not only for that night, but this team and the psyche. And one of them was when Omar, it was Carson Templin on him. And
fan favorite.
Yeah. And Omar, and the double didn't come because the double doesn't come anymore. Omar, this is what happens when you're not a game plan anymore. You're going to get this all the time. And if you have guys like Carson Templin, I'll say, trying to defend you, you're going to take your chances there and you're going to score. And that's going to be a good look for this team. And after Omar just abused Templin, got exactly what he wanted: physicality, footwork, good hands, good feet, got a good shot off, and Omar scored right over Templin. And when he was running down the court, he did this motion, like too small. And that was like the first time I saw Omar get cocky this year. Like, that's when you're cocky, in a lot of cases, people misunderstand cockiness for confidence, and maybe that was just the confidence that we needed to see, or Omar needed a play like that to be like, okay, I can do this. That was the one. And I don't know if you caught that play, BJ, but I thought that was big just for who Omar and the Omar they're going to need moving forward. And the other one, dang, man, it was Peanut. And like you said, no, he's not just some spot-up three-point shooter that looks like Tom Cruise and has cool signals when he hits threes. Like, dude, he took Falslev to the basket. It was one-on-one, and I could tell. Falslev did this last year with Max Rice. He's a really tough kid. And I felt like Falslev came in the last year and just wanted to go right at Max and prove Max that he sucks. He shouldn't be out there. I'm better. And I felt like Falslev went real head on with Max last year. And he's a tough kid. And I saw Falslev kind of have that mentality with Peanut Buchanan. Like, who the hell is this dude? Like, no, this guy can't guard me. Who the hell is this guy? And then there was a play offensively where Peanut just got whatever he wanted on Falslev, took him into the rack, had a nice little, I think it was a jump stop, maybe an up and under move, scored a tough bucket against Falslev. And I remember looking at Falslev's face right when it happened, because basketball is weird like that. Like, yeah, eat it. He scored on you. And Falslev was kind of running down the court, kind of like, shucks, man. Like, dang, that was kind of a good play. And I remember watching that going, dang, okay, Peanut, you're going on some of the best wings in this league, one-on-one ISO, which this team can't do. Part of the reason there's 5 seconds on the shot clock every possession, it's tough to get a look. A lot of times the best way to beat defense like that is just have a guy who can make another guy miss and get you a good look. I don't know if this team, they don't have a Derek Marks like that, get him the ball, get out of the way. He's going to get you a good look. Maybe Peanut can be that guy, and he was on that last play I was talking about to Falslev. He just worked him, man. He just got what he wanted from him. He just took him. And Falslev's a good player in this league, and for Peanut to do that in his 7th, 8th game, this guy's going to be a stud, BJ. I might even be here, and Peanut that dude's phone's going to be ringing.
Oh, no doubt about that. And you think about, like I said, oh, he's a great shooter. In the first couple of games, he just kind of stood around the 3-point line. And like you said, now he's doing some of those moves and driving to the rack. And he's got an overall offensive game here. And what is he, 6'7"? I think. I mean, his size.
Very, very deceptively big. Yes. What if he's still growing? What if Peanut Carmichael ends up being 6'8", and all of a sudden he's a solid? I mean, because you're going to need to be that to be a guard. You have to be 6'8" now in the NBA. Basically, it's just I shouldn't even say NBA, but in that level of professional basketball, if he can get to 6'8", I mean, because he is a lot bigger than you think, man. It's weird. He's tall. Kind of Max was like that too. You'd get to Max, you'd be like, damn, Max, I never really realized you're 6'5", like legit 6'5". Peanut's taller than Max.
Ray, one game at a time, need to win. John says, Peanut's so smooth going to the rim. Sam says, don't forget he's only 18 years old. Rich saying, great prospect, needs some refinement, looked damn good last night. Very physical at the rim. Mark Carringer saying, for him, expectations have now changed, Johnny. At the very least, make it to the championship game. Personally, I think we win the championship game. Glad I'll be in Vegas to take advantage of it. And certainly, I mean, like you said, Johnny, there's no team that you look at right now and say Boise State can't beat them. I mean, I know San Diego State's beaten them twice.
No, you're not scared of anybody outside of San Diego State. Come on.
Yeah,
San Diego State, bad matchup, dude. Those guys are big, physical, athletic, and that's just a bad matchup for this team. It's like the Memphis thing a couple of years ago.
We're looking possibly, Johnny, at a 4-way tie for second place. The way the standings could work out here, you could have Boise State, if they win out at 15-5, San Diego State could get to 15-5, and then hey, there's your cat.
Sorry, dude. Just go.
Showtime. Hey, look at that. Move the other way. We want to see. Come on.
I just can't get her to stop running around the house, man. So she just
right.
I'll tell you this, BJ Tyree.
Hold on. 15-5. You could have a 4-way tie at second place with Utah State, Colorado State, Boise State, and San Diego State. And so there'd be a whole convoluted tiebreaker there. But long story short, Johnny, if you can get Boise State, I would be, as long as you don't have to play San Diego State in the quarterfinals, I'd be fine with any of the others. And I think Colorado State would be the matchup I would like, if I'm Boise State. But
okay,
we'll see in this what the seeding shakes out. But that 4-5 game, the nice thing is it is an afternoon game. The timing's a little better on a Thursday. You're not playing at 9:30 at night. But like you said, I just had that feeling. Remember when they won the league a couple years ago and when they won the tournament with that championship game win over San Diego State? And it was just, I mean, and your guy Jordan Kay just crafted a, awesome article after the game, I remember. But it was just you just had a feeling whatever happened, they were going to find a way to win the game. You just did. You just had this feeling like they're winning this tournament. And right now, any game they play, I just feel like they're going to probably find a way to win the game. There's a very good feeling around this program right now. And obviously they had the stinker down at Viejas, but 6 out of 7 and some of the teams they're beating now. And like we said, the way they're playing, like I think they're going to win these next 3 games, and I don't see why they wouldn't go down there and win a game or 2 or maybe the whole thing. I'd be surprised at this point if they're not playing in the championship game, to be honest.
BJ, I'm going to be surprised if they're going to be in the championship game. This is a good league, and I guess I'll be surprised if any team is in the championship game. I mean, these top 4 teams in the league, that's going to be terrific to see them battle it out. I thought Tyree had a good question earlier. Like if Tyson, say, got the bag this year on this team, if he's their one high-priced player that they're going to have every year with their cap, be a real interesting discussion in time for who's going to be that next year. And maybe you do need to say, Peanut, maybe we're going to build this thing around you a little quicker than we thought here. Just some things moving forward. But yeah, Mountain West Tournament.
David Buchanan.
I like Buchanan too. But dude, I mean, Leon, I don't know about Buchanan. I love the guy too, but how many minutes did he play last night? 21. I don't know, but yeah, Buchanan's certainly in the mix. He's a stud too. I like him. They have a few guys coming back, and then they'll get a bunch of players. I did think this too. Alvaro Cardenas, I think, was the difference last night. The difference, I think, was in the point guard play. Right? Assess Utah State's point guard play. They didn't have point guard play last night. Ian Martinez did not have an assist. Dexter Acano did not have an assist. These are guards, and they weren't moving the ball around. And then you look at Boise State's point guard play. Man, there was a pick and roll, and some of these old school guys watching, and they'll remember this era, but there was a pick and roll from the top of the key with Alvaro and Tyson. It was so Stockton Malone. It was like it was easy, and they had done it. It's like Tyson and Alvaro had been playing together for 4 years after I saw that pick and roll. And I guarantee you, when they watch film today, they're going to spend a few minutes on this, and Duryea is going to be like, guys, like, this is my teach film. Thank you. I'm going to use this clip to teach someone how to run the pick and roll. It was absolutely perfect. It was an easy bucket, and I hope we have more of that coming. But the point guard play, it's just steady. It's professional. It's a grown-up, maturity. And I hate saying this and thinking about it, but, man, really going to miss Alvaro. Alvaro's going to be one of those guys you're like, I wish they had him another year. Isn't there some Diego Pavia type of rule if you play for San Jose State? Doesn't that effectively count like a junior college because of the atmosphere, and there's no chance to ever get NIL money at San Jose State? Diego Pavia rule, I was unallowed to get NIL money because I play at San Jose State. I can get some at Boise. I mean, is there that 5th year waiver would be beautiful if you could get Alvaro back, but man, sensational point guard play. And I thought that was a difference in kind of a 20-point win.
That rule is coming at some point, probably next year, though. And think about it, though, Johnny, you could have Tyson back for another year, too, if that thing were to pass. Maybe you had Alvaro and Tyson for another year. This team
would he?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I think you'd have to consider it. I mean,
man, it would have to be the money. It would have to be the money.
They're loving the cat, by the way. Although
cat, yeah. I got a new kitten over
because
there
of it being a black cat. Sky saying it guarantees a trip to Dayton now. Somebody else.
My cat's a vandal, dude. Where is she? Come here. I don't even know her name. I haven't named her yet.
State has officially scored 0 points since the black cat was seen on screen, so they're a little worried about that. But Johnny,
she's like 7 weeks, man, or 2 months, man. Like, yeah. Anyway, she's not a jinx, man. It's a good cat. She's a vandal, man. Kidding me?
All right.
She's like Boise State.
I got to thank rowpaint.com, our title sponsor here on a Thursday edition. All your painting needs are in our house, working on a project, finishing up today. They've done a tremendous job so far, and we're very thankful for the fine folks at rowpaint.com. All your painting needs, hit up our title sponsor at rowpaint.com, and that includes those concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, all that good stuff. Rowpaint.com. We saw the Nicolaisons, Stephen and Stan there last night. TacoBellWorks.com is the website if you want to get more information on the charitable giving efforts of the local Taco Bell locations. They've committed over $400,000 to student-athlete scholarships at Boise State. And, oh, yeah, the food's pretty darn good as well. So visit Taco Bell today, and they are hiring for jobs, so you can get more information on their website, TacoBellWorks.com. We mentioned Tyson Degenhart and NIL money. Idaho Central Credit Union was the first to step up in a big way with Tyson Degenhart. It was the biggest NIL deal at the time. Idaho Central Credit Union still hit one of his biggest. ICCU.com, they stepped up with Tyson, and he is certainly returning the favor this year. Branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile eBranch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check them out online, Idaho Central Credit Union. Hey, Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, thespateam.com. If you're looking for a spa, sauna, pool table, they got you covered. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Get more information online at thespateam.com. Hey, the Blue and Orange Store, Travis Hawks and Company has all your Boise State gear. Jerseys, bumper stickers, car flags, hats, logo golf balls, you name it. The best selection, the best prices. If you're a Boise State fan, you need to shop at the Blue and Orange Store online, theblueandorangestore.com, or just going to the Boise Town Square Mall there next to Pro Image. Lithia Ford of Boise, Johnny, on Saturday. This is a pretty cool event they're doing. If you can test drive an F-150, and you can have a Boise State football player right along with you in the vehicle on the test drive. It's going to be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. 11-1 on Saturday. Lithia Ford. All their NIL athletes are going to have Cage Casey, Latrell Caples. They're all going to be out there. Matt Lauder, all their guys that have NIL deals with them. You can get autographs, pictures. It's going to be really cool. And again, you can test drive one of their F-150s, and like Matt Lauder will sit up front shotgun with you driving around town on your test drive.
Yeah, talking about Boise State football. That's cool.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty cool. That's 11-1 on Saturday. Hope to see you there 11-1 on Saturday at Lithia Ford of Boise. And Johnny, tomorrow morning on your way into the office, make sure you get your $2 hot dog, fountain drink, and banana at Jackson's. The Broncos scored 70. They hit 70 last night with like 5 minutes left in the game. They finished with 82. So that means tomorrow, it's 2 days after the game. So Wednesday game, Friday is the deal. $2 hot dog, fountain drink, and banana using your Let's Go Rewards app at Jackson's. That's all Treasure Valley, Jackson's locations. And don't forget, 99-cent coffee anytime, any day of the week using your Let's Go Rewards app. And we are thankful of our sponsorship with our post-game show sponsor, Jackson's. Get that $2 hot dog deal tomorrow. All right, Johnny, I want to get, you've done some segments on your show that you call Fair or Foul, correct? I know you like to do some things and, just to kind of talk about things like that. What did you make last night? We had a marriage proposal at Extra Mile Arena. I missed the very beginning of this, but they had a pretty cool thing where they're showing people, and they kind of surprised this young lady in the background. All the cheerleaders were holding up their "Will You Marry Me" signs in the background. And last name kind of familiar here to some fans in Boise, Johnny Blaymeyer. The last name relation to Gene Blaymeyer, the great Bronco Blaymeyer, who does a nice job podcasting and things. But cool moment last night. Mary Beth said yes during a timeout. What'd you make of the marriage proposal at the X?
Do you think she knew it was coming?
I don't know the answer to that.
No, I would say she didn't. But, that's a risk for Blaymeyer over there. And the family of Blaymeyer, they've been known to take risks, and they paid off. So good for them. That's always fun to see. Yep, I've never proposed marriage. BJ, have I ever actually, I don't know if I have or not. BJ, have you ever, actually, never mind, you are married. How did you propose to Karen?
I did it the prototypical St. Louis way, down under the Gateway Arch.
Okay, you got her under the arch and you proposed right there. That's beautiful, BJ. Good for you. You probably put a lot of time, effort, and thought into that. And so did Blaymeyer there. See, he got the best of both worlds, man. He's got his team. He's got his lady. Now he's putting a ring on it. Look at him. His team won. They led for 36 minutes of this game. And now he's got look at his bride on his side there. Nice. I'm going to make out with her real quick. Yeah, baby. Yeah, daddy got it. Good for him, man. Good for him. I wish I had a lady like that. Because I am, like Surf City Bill says. And he's right. Nobody, and I mean nobody, works harder in the Boise media than yours truly.
Dan Hogg said the fan cam was curious at first, then we knew why. Robbie says that's awesome. So cool to see it. But the crowd responded to that, Johnny. That was midway through the first half, and I can't remember if they've ever had one at Extra Mile Arena before that, but that was a cool little moment there.
It was. Congratulations to those Blaymeyers, new Mrs. Blaymeyer, and a lot of fun. How do you do that? Do you have to be a Blaymeyer to do that? Could Dan Hogg, Robbie Robertson, Ray, or Spencer win? Nathan Wilder could probably pull it off because he does a lot of stuff for them, but I don't know. Could anybody do that? It's one of those things where if you let one person do it, then all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, are like four more people going to call? Because if that's the case, you can't let everybody do it. So, yeah.
It's Robbie Robinson, not Robertson or whatever you Matt Lamb, great podcast. Johnny doesn't need to date girls. He has a cat.
Lamb, yeah, good luck getting ball game back on shirts and skins at some point. Damn.
I don't know if we can confirm or deny this, but Hunter Chapman is reporting that Derek Morales, our friend Derek, was tearing up during the proposal. Is that an emotional moment?
Derek.
Tearing up there?
I mean, I cry a lot. I'm super emotional, but Derek, get a life. It's happy. You don't know. It's just love. And, they're like 72 and they're 65, but they still love each other. Derek, stop it. Just enjoy them. We don't have to tear up. Get off it.
Said, your friend Dan Hogg says his wife would have hated a public proposal. Mine was at home. Some
Most
wives,
women I would have they would have said, don't ever do that to me, and they can't say no either. They really can't. You can't say no. So, but anyway, he rolled the dice and it paid off for him, and it will continue to. Congratulations to the Blaymeyers there. All kidding aside, that might have been the best moment of a lot of fun-filled moments last night in that arena. Congratulations to those two. It's going to be hopefully a wonderful marriage for them.
Utah State had some fans last night, Johnny, over in the corner of the arena. They had some up in the upper corner. I mean, they traveled a little bit last night, but obviously didn't have a ton to cheer about there. Let's see here. Lamb just lost his media credentials.
I was shocked he even had them, but yeah, let's move. Lammy. All right.
Utah State, they brought a few fans there. It was a little fun atmosphere, and their coach after the game, Johnny, did say some very complimentary things about Leon Rice in this program. I'm not sure if you had a chance on the post-game show to hear this, but I'm going to play one soundbite from the Utah State coach, and let me know your thoughts.
I know some people in this town say they've underachieved this year up to this point, but how do you
Well,
look
I
at
think
them
a lot
big
of people better be careful what they wish for. I follow you, and I know you're a Leon Rice fan, and I know you've stood up for him. To me, Leon Rice is one of the best coaches in this league. He's built this program. You see this crowd. Support your team, support your coach. They got a very, very good team. They're as good as anybody in the league, right? There's really no difference between the first place team and the fifth or sixth place team. They're absolutely crazy if they hate on Leon Rice. I mean, I admire the guy. He's stayed here. He's built this from the ground up, and you saw it today. It was unbelievable. If they pack it like this, I don't think they'd lose a home game.
And final thing for you, I mean, you
Thoughts there on the praise from Jared Calhoun. I appreciate the follow on Twitter there, Coach. Thank you for that. Just
nice little shout out. Yeah, he's a fan. I mean, BJ, like I said, you're one of the most powerful people in the Mountain West Conference, and that's just another illustration. But honestly, okay, and I've always been a Leon guy, but I know it's different when it's your team. It's kind of like, yeah, you can tell me how amazing my wife is and all this stuff and how I'm such a lucky guy. But it's a little different having to live with her and having to do all this other stuff and that type of thing. Like sometimes it's different when it's yours and you just don't know what you have until it's gone, and you're still willing to risk what's behind the door of uncertainty. Yes, if you move on ever from Leon Rice, there's a strong chance you're going to get way worse. And there's probably a small chance you're going to get way better. But sometimes as a fan, you're still willing to roll that dice. Fans are fanatics, and that's fine. But this Leon Rice is, you know how I feel about Leon too. I think he does a good job. And if this was my program, and the basketball program I root for never gets to go to the tournament, they suck. They don't even exist. I'm a Washington Husky and Idaho Vandal basketball fan. Those are my two teams, and they suck. And I would love to have Leon even going to the tournament. I know you don't win when you get there, but the journey to get there gets you through like 3.5 months of fantastic times. And for that, the journey, I know the ending sucks, man. You read a great book in the last 2 pages. Dang it. He didn't get the girl. I thought he was going to get the girl. I've read this whole book, and at the end, wait, what? She slapped him in the face? That's not supposed to end like this. And that's how people feel about Leon Rice basketball seasons. I think it's silly for me because I can appreciate and enjoy the journey with my teams, but a lot of fans can't, and they don't, and they won't. And it's been 15 years, and they want that tournament win, BJ. But yeah, Leon Rice I think he's a great coach, and he's doing a good job again. And we'll see if they can get to the tournament.
It is funny
though.
They'll
be hell to pay if they don't.
Yeah,
and you're going to have to take it. They're going to come to you. You're the scapegoat, BJ Raines. When someone gets pissed off at Leon, they yell at BJ. It's awesome. I watch it every bit, guys. Keep doing it. The post-game shows where this team loses and BJ has to take this, and football losses are even better. But I love it. BJ, you are the Boise State scapegoat. It's hilarious. Well done.
Yeah, they don't play well. They don't recruit well, whatever. Let's blame me. It's my fault. That's usually how it goes. But I will say, Johnny, like, Prater was tweeting about Leon Rice fatigue and that all these people were unhappy after the San Diego State loss and all this kind of, it's crazy what 8 days can do, because the trolls in the chat or the APs of the world and some of these folks that are just ripping on Leon, we haven't heard from a lot of them in the last month very often. It's crazy what a couple wins can do, but it does seem like this team, Johnny, is peaking at the right time. They're playing well. I've said it on this show. I say it almost every day, Johnny. If there was ever an ending that is deserved, if there was ever the right way for this thing to end, Alvaro Cardenas deserves to play in March Madness and experience March Madness. Tyson Degenhart deserves to be the guy that ends that. Just doesn't it seem like just too fitting for Tyson Degenhart and what he's done here to be the guy that adds first tournament win to the end of his resume here at Boise State before they hang that banner at some point? Like, it just, even a month ago, it seemed like it just wasn't, this isn't how it's supposed to end. And now it's all coming together where it's like, no, maybe this thing does have this storybook ending here, Johnny.
It hasn't yet. So this would be the first time, and it'd be lovely for Tyson, sure. But, Tyson's career is what it is, and it. Win or lose an NCAA tournament game, for me, that's an A-plus career. If he wins the tournament game, it's still an A-plus career. If they go to the Sweet 16 and have that magical weekend ride that very few programs have ever got to experience, getting out of the first weekend, man, if they ever do that here, if Tyson can do that this year, he's still an all-timer here, but it would certainly be nice for Tyson. And yeah, Alvaro too, to play. And like I said, Dayton, maybe they get a winnable matchup in Dayton. And for this team, going to Dayton isn't the worst thing, because maybe they do get a like-minded opponent there and a couple of 11 seeds, and maybe they get another mid-major, whatever the case, and they win that game. I don't think Leon's losing again in Dayton, dude. I don't. What is he, 0-3 there, BJ?
Yep.
He's 0-3.
Every time they've gone, for the most part, it's been a disappointing trip to Dayton. Didn't think they should have been there, that kind of stuff. If they were to get on a plane to have to go to Dayton this year, I think it'd be a totally different mindset in terms of where this season was. They would welcome a chance to go to Dayton. Leon Rice might not get that now. He wants to win the Mountain West tournament, get into the actual field here. But yeah, you get an 11 seed, you're playing a 6 seed. If you're in the tournament, you go to Dayton, you're an 11 seed playing an 11 seed. So I agree. You have a more winnable game, certainly in Dayton, maybe than in the first round. But like I said, it's just crazy that we're even talking about this. Any final couple of minutes, Johnny, any concern about Air Force and or Fresno, the next two games, and any possible, slip up? Are these going to be 25-point blowout wins here?
What the hell's going to happen? And you shouldn't. I watched the post-game show. You got a birthday party. You got a bunch of stuff. You're trying to save up for a Dayton trip now that looks like it's pretty possible. You don't need to go to Fresno. You do a good job covering this. Hell, BJ, I'll even come on in my home studio for your pre or post-game show and help you out if you decide not to make that trip. I get it. That's a dissolute basketball program right now. I can see Boise State winning by however much they want to. I might even say, you might have a random player getting like a double-double that game, playing a lot of minutes and stuff. So, no, nothing to worry about with Fresno, in my opinion. I don't know. Air Force is pretty good shooting threes. Do I sit there and say, well, if they have a historical game shooting threes, like they shoot 54% for a team, 14 for, what would that be, 26, 14 for 27? Like, if maybe that's the case. But no, I think you're on cruise. I think you're going to be able to win these games. And a couple of shout outs here. Like, I don't think I was the only one, but I was all over Andrew Meadow for the last couple of weeks. And he has completely flipped it. Whatever the mindset, the ball's going in, he's attacking, and got to give a shout out to Andrew Meadow. His 5 for 9. He's been that second scorer. Alvaro has to be your third scorer here, in my opinion, for this to work. You need A and B scores, and if that's going to be Tyson and Meadow, great. If it's going to be Tyson and Peanut, great. And then you're going to consistently have Alvaro as kind of your number 3 scorer, burying you with open threes, but more being a, obviously, distributor than looking to score. And they got that out of Meadow. Meadow has changed and turned the notch up on his game. Peanut keeps getting better. And, you know, I don't want to say Omar's back, but that was a really good sign from Omar last night. He was 5 for 7, BJ, and had 10 points in 15 minutes and 1 turnover in 15 minutes, 4 boards. Like, he was Omar for 15 minutes. And I think I like what Leon did. He didn't put him back in much in the second half. He's like, okay, we're gonna be happy with this Omar performance. Sit down and let's build off of this instead of maybe putting you back in when we're up 18 points to maybe lose some confidence. I don't know the game they have to play there, but we've said it all year. If this team is going to go to the tournament, I have a hard time thinking they're going to get there, Dayton or wherever else, BJ, if you can't have at least last night, which is coming off the bench, Omar Stanley giving you 15 minutes with 10 and 4. All of a sudden, that's the best bench force in this conference. If you get that Omar, and hopefully that's what they're going to get moving forward. And BJ, yeah, here we are, late February. It's going to be a fun March in Boise, Idaho for the 4th consecutive year. Win or lose, they're in the mix. That's all you want. Going into March, or you have a shot at the tournament, yes or no? This case, yes, they do. Cool.
And by the way, Leon Rice did say he should have played Omar a little more. But I agree with you that it was kind of perfect the way it worked out. Get the good feeling momentum going moving forward here. Johnny, Idaho Sports Talk, 3 to 6 today. What do we got coming up on a Thursday edition of Idaho Sports Talk?
Our top 15 most important list. BJ will say that we stole it from him. Apparently, he was the first guy to have a top 15 list, so we stole
the only guy ever to do a top 25 list. You tried to change it to 15, so it didn't look like you were top. Yes, I'm the only one that's ever done it. Anyone that you ever see do a top 25 list stole it from me.
Well, I mean, BJ, you did say that to me the first time. Like, oh yeah, you're doing a top 15 list. You copied me. I was like, BJ, anyway. But yeah. Our top 15 list, we actually have an offensive player today. It's a big one. Maybe he was at the game last night. And I'll tell you this, little tease for Friday, BJ. 5 p.m. in studio, talking the NFL Combine with one of the members of the greatest Combine class in Boise State history, 2012, when they sent 7 players. Nate Potter. First chance to get the new OC in our studio and talk about that. Can you imagine that team in 2012? 7 Boise State players showing up at the Combine. Every single one of them got drafted except Kellen Moore. He was the only guy with an invite that didn't get picked. And then the year before, BJ, they had 5 players. Can you imagine? Is Spencer going to get it there? We're in a 2-year period. The National Football League wants your dudes at their event. That's another level of respect and another level of where you are as a football program. If you're sending dudes to the Combine every year, Chris Peterson, 12 in 2 years, dude built an NFL factory here in Boise, Idaho. And I don't think Spencer's far off, BJ. I ain't doubting Danielson on anything. He's just a cold call away, from that next great player. And wow, it's going to be cool, man. But yeah, appreciate you having me on today, BJ. We have a good show coming up.
Looking forward to that. I will say for Friday, that was smart of you to have me on first. I'll help get the audience big before Nate Potter comes on.
You always do. 4:15 every Friday, the BNN report with BJ Rains. Not sure where we're going tomorrow, BJ. Football, basketball, probably basketball, but we always appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you guys for having me. All right, each and every Wednesday or Thursday.
We appreciate you. I'm going to keep this thing rolling though myself. So Johnny, we'll see you at 3:00, man. Appreciate you. Do want to thank Bauscher Real Estate, Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. we'll keep this thing going for a little longer if folks have some comments and things. I want to hear a little more from Jared Calhoun, the Utah State head coach. Had some good perspective. Bauscher Real Estate, number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. When you buy or sell a home with Matt, you get to meet everybody in the picture there. The first-class service, just unmatched. You get the best value, the best deal for your sale or your purchase. Matt Bauscher, check him out online at BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. ShopRidleys.com. Ridley's Family Markets, locations across the Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, state of Idaho, and beyond. Get that Skip app in your app store and get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. You want a hometown grocer, great prices, great environment, great family-owned business. ShopRidleys.com to find a Ridley's Family Markets near you. Speaking of great businesses, transportation compliance service, transcompservice.com. They can help you get into the trucking industry. 866-813-7620 every step of the way. You want to get into the trucking industry? Transcomp Service can help you out. It's a local company helping folks all over the world. Check them out. transcompservice.com. Lean Feast Meridian. If you're looking to eat healthy, lean up a little bit, drop a few pounds. I'm down 30 plus pounds. It's thanks to Lean Feast. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Excuse me, the website's wrong. I don't know why I'm saying that. Leanfeastmeridian.com is the new website. I need to update that. It might still take you there, but leanfeastmeridian.com is the website. You can order right there online, have it delivered, never even have to go into the store. 208-487-5782. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, healthy meals, all fresh, not frozen, fully customizable, delicious steak, shrimp, chicken, fish is right there available. 2 minutes in the microwave. Highly recommend Lean Feast. Dave and company do a tremendous job. Check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. And leave us a voice inbox. I know we had one from Don last night. I believe Mark Carringer has left us one. We'll get to those. Speakpipe.com/BNN. I think tomorrow with Jay Tust, we'll play all the ones from the week, and maybe we'll start doing that on Fridays or seeing when we want to do it. But we'll try tomorrow to play all these voicemails. Speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on an upcoming BNN live broadcast. And it's brought to you by our friends at Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, an inspection, all your roofing needs, make sure you hit up our roofing sponsor, Signature Roofing at mysignatureroofing.com. Don't forget, only about 3 or 4 foursomes left. If you want to play in the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament, Dirk Cutter is going to be out there playing, some other coaches. It's going to be a lot of fun. Basketball coaches, Coach Rice is usually out there playing, Mike Burns. You get to, worth the price of admission alone to see Jay Tust and John Mallory out there on the driving range. But we appreciate rowpaint.com, ICCU for sponsoring this. The proceeds benefit the Idaho Youth Sports Commission, raising money to help underprivileged youth play sports in our area. That we pay for the cleats or shoes if they need them. We pay for equipment. They help pay for the league dues for folks that aren't able to afford it. So it's a pretty cool thing. We've donated over $25,000 in the last 3 years to the Idaho Youth Sports Commission from the proceeds of this little dinky golf tournament out at Timberstone. So help us out. 1 shotgun start at 9 a.m. It includes lunch, driving range. Going to be a lot of fun. You also get to come to a happy hour the night before and hear an exclusive Q&A with Spencer Danielson, and we're working on some other special guests as well. So hope to see everybody, but we only have like 3 foursomes left. If you don't golf, but you're interested in the happy hour with Spencer Danielson and some coaches, reach out to me. We can maybe sell you a separate ticket for that. But only 3 foursomes, and I keep saying foursomes, but it's actually fivesomes this year. We're doing fivesomes. 3 fivesomes left is all we have, and it's going to be at Bronco Nation News /golf. So jump on in there. We'd love to have you join us, and it's going to sell out here real quickly. So Hunter mentioned this. I'll bring this up tomorrow with Jay Tust, but the Mountain West initiating a settlement. Not a surprise. We all kind of thought this was going in this direction. Why keep paying, hundreds of millions of dollars in legal fees when you can just lower the exit fees and everybody, meet in the middle somewhere and agree to it? That's kind of what we all thought would happen on the football side. So, or the conference side with the realignment and everything. So I don't think that's a huge surprise to anybody, or should it be? But that's going to happen. We'll have more about that. Let's hear Jared Calhoun. I know some of you guys heard him on the postgame show, but I wanted to hear that it's only a 3-minute interview or 2.5 minutes, but I wanted to give a quick, play the whole 4 questions here, because Jared Calhoun, nice enough to speak with me after the game on camera and gave me a quick one-on-one interview. So I always like getting the opposing coach's perspective. Let's hear from Jared Calhoun, the Utah State head coach, after Boise State's 82-65 win last night.
A lot of credit, Leon and his staff. I thought they were the hungrier team. They're trying to play in the NCAA tournament. They're trying to get in. This is an NCAA tournament team. This was an NCAA tournament environment. I've watched a lot of their games. This was a big-time environment today. I thought Dagenhart Cardenas, all those guys brought it. You have to credit them. We just didn't play very hungry. You know, we had some success against San Diego State. I thought, you know, playing with a physical brand of basketball, they brought it to us tonight. It was, you know, disappointing how the physical part of this game went.
Defensively, I mean, you guys shot over 60% against them the first time. I think 42 tonight. Were you just missing shots? Did they do something better defensively?
You know, it's like, you know, you're emotional after a game, right? To me, you got to watch the tape. You don't get in there and rant, rave, and start really breaking this game down until you watch it tonight. I know what I watched with my eyes was a physical Boise State team, a team that took it to us, a team that looked very, very determined. And, you know, if they play like that, they can win a lot of games.
I was going to say, when they're clicking, they got the Degenhart kind of Cardenas combo going, and other guys are coming in. I mean, I know some people in this town say they've underachieved this year up to this point, but how do you look
I
at them?
think a lot of people better be careful what they wish for. I follow you, and I know you're a Leon Rice fan, and I know you've stood up for him. To me, Leon Rice is one of the best coaches in this league. He's built this program. You see this crowd. Support your team, support your coach. They got a very, very good team. They're as good as anybody in the league, right? There's really no difference between the first place team and the fifth or sixth place team. They're absolutely crazy if they hate on Leon Rice. I mean, I admire the guy. He stayed here. He's built this from the ground up, and you saw it today. It was unbelievable. If they pack it like this, I don't think they'd lose a home game.
And final thing for you, I mean, you guys are still second place, still a lot to play for, still here down the stretch. I mean, I know it's a tough loss, but how do you guys kind of?
Yeah, I just think we're just disappointed the way we performed, right? Big opportunity, obviously only 3 games left. We'll see how we respond, right? We're on the road. We'll leave tomorrow, 48 hours. Colorado State's playing as good as Boise, as good as San Diego State. All these teams are good, right? So it's going to be another hostile environment. They've got a really good player in Nick Clifford, but they've got a lot of skill. And we're fortunate enough to beat them at home, right? Like, they're all the same. Everybody's the same. It's which team down the stretch brings it, and it'll be a tough out for sure.
Well, there he is. We appreciate, again, Jared Calhoun, nice enough to chat with us. Some very kind words there for on Leon Rice and the program, and said that's an NCAA tournament team. We'll see if the bracketologists agree right now. We'll see down in a week or couple weeks here if the committee agrees. But certainly Boise State, big win, needed it, and was obviously a big time game last night. The crowd brought it. I mean, if you went to that game, you left having a lot of fun. I mean, there's no way you went to that game and thought, man, that wasn't worth my $30 ticket or that wasn't worth my $15 beer. I mean, you had a good time if you went to that game. And that's what it, frankly, should be like every game. It shouldn't matter if you're playing Air Force or Utah State. Like, that kind of atmosphere is what you get every game at the Pit, every game at the Spectrum. And so it was really nice to see. I thought that the marketing department did a great job just with the videos, the music, the stadium ops, Nathan McGregor, everybody just did a tremendous job from start to finish. It was loud. It was raucous. The music was jacked up a little bit, which I've heard some people have complained about the music being too loud. Go look at the scoreboard, folks. Like, it matters. It's crazy to me. Somebody would complain that the music's too loud, but I guess when you look at the demographic of some of the fans, I understand it. But I think from anyone that went to that game last night, you got in your car going home thinking, man, hopefully you're turned on BNN, but while you're doing that, you're saying, man, that was a heck of a win, and we had a heck of a time. And if you don't have your tickets for senior night next Friday, I would suspect you get those pretty soon, because I would imagine that's going to be a sellout and a even more electric atmosphere if Boise State can take care of business on the road and win those next 2 games here against Air Force and Fresno. Somebody did ask about Fresno. They weren't listening to the post-game show, I guess. I'm leaning towards not going. It's just a financial decision, to be completely honest with you, for the most part. Also just a quality of life decision to get to Fresno. You got to fly to Las Vegas and then fly back to Fresno on Friday. And then to get back in time for my son's birthday party on Sunday, I would have to drive. My current travel arrangement is to drive 3 hours from Fresno to Oakland after the game, so I can take a 9 a.m. flight to get back in time for my son's birthday party on Sunday. So you factor in Boise State should win this game by 15, 20 points at least. Fresno State is terrible. You throw in, just like I said, the cost involved and may need to be paying for a trip to the NCAA tournament here, fairly soon. And it just, from a business perspective, it doesn't make a ton of sense to go to Fresno, and just for a personal thing as well. So we will probably bang the Fresno trip, but we will have full pregame, full postgame coverage, and we'll be watching the game on TV like you guys and tweeting away. And I'll still have a live pregame and postgame show on Saturday, just maybe from right here in our studio. And the $1,000 for hotel and rental car and gas and plane flights to see him win by 25 against one of the worst teams that the Mountain West has seen in a long time. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. So we will be like the other media members in town that haven't gone to any games, and we'll be watching this one on TV probably on Saturday, to be honest with you. So it is what it is, but I will go to Air Force Tuesday. I think that's going to be a little more of a contest. We'll go to Air Force on Tuesday and see what happens with that one, but may pull the plug on Fresno, and we are planning to go to the NFL draft in Green Bay. So that's going to be an expense. I'm looking if as long as Ashton Genty decides to go, Bronco Nation News is planning to go to the NFL draft in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. So we'll be there covering that. And obviously we'll be all week at the Mountain West tournament and all week, hopefully somewhere for the NCAA tournament as well. So looking forward to a lot of things popping up here in the near future. But this one may just not make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. There's not much I can do in Fresno that I couldn't do watching this one on TV with how we expect the game to go. So with that said, appreciate you guys for checking us out. Thank you for all your subscriptions. BNN 50 deal is the promo code. $50 gets you a full year at BroncoNationNews.com. BNN 50 deal. We're working on this. We do have the promo codes. If anybody is going down to Vegas for the tournament and wants to stay at Circa or the D, we do have some promo codes. Todd, hope you had a chance to chat with the Atkinsons. I know they had rented a booth there last night, and I know you guys were all watching the game at Circa last night on the big screen. Nathaniel's also asking about Vegas parties. Nathaniel, I also got a note from your mom. I will try to get back to her today about the promo codes. We do have promo codes for Circa or the D. They're not eligible until like the Wednesday. So if you're coming in for the women's tournament, I don't think you can get any discount those first couple days, but we are working with Circa. There's apparently a Mountain West thing they're trying to set up. And so I don't know the details yet, but ideally on that Friday, we'll do something out at Circa out there on that Friday. If Boise State wins on Thursday, plan to come out to Circa on that Friday. Whether it's 10 to 4, I don't know what the timing would be, but Friday morning, Friday afternoon before the semifinals, plan on something out at Circa Resort and Casino. Tell your friends, pool party at Circa. We'll watch conference tournament games out there, hang out, have a good time. I don't know if we'll get the full reserved pool and 4 cabanas that we had last time because they've got some big parties already scheduled, but we might be able to get, at least an area that we can all hang out in on a Friday. So appreciate you guys. Again, subscribe if you can. Tell your friends. Jackson's, Taco Bell, all the other great sponsors you see behind us. ICCU, it's an ICCU Friday, so make sure Thursday today. So make sure you check out Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. All your banking needs. Make the switch today. You'll be happy you did. Rain's family's loving our switch because all the just the ease of the online banking is so easy. So I would make the switch to ICCU today. You will not be disappointed at all. And of course, rowpaint.com, our title sponsor, they're in our house right now, fixing, repainting the ceiling and doing some things. And the price was fair and the estimate process and everything was great. So we appreciate rowpaint.com. And if you have any painting project that you've been putting off for a while, don't put it off any longer. Hit up rowpaint.com. Tell them that you heard about it on BNN, and they'll hook you up. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. We appreciate them. And yeah, Tyler says the party at the D was before the football game was perfect. So fun. Appreciate you, Tyler. Thanks for making. We had a packed house at the D for that one. That was standing room only. That was a lot of fun before that football game against UNLV. Last year we had 150 plus RSVP to come to the pool party at Circa, and then it ended up being the coldest, rainiest day they've had all year in Vegas, and Boise State lost to New Mexico in the quarterfinals. And so we still had 30 or 40 of you brave the conditions and showed up anyway on that Friday, but we're hoping for better weather, hoping for a Boise State win. And I think that Friday could be a fun day out there at Circa Resort and Casino. So if you're going down to Vegas, even if you're not staying at Circa, you can still come to the pool party. It's open to the public, but make plans on that Friday morning, Friday afternoon, maybe like 10 to 3 or something. We will have, and yes, as Nathaniel says, heated pool. He was one of the ones that got in and braved it while it was pouring down rain Appreciate you as always, Nathaniel. But make plans Friday. I don't have an official graphic or exact details, but we'll do something out at Stadium Swim on Friday of Mountain West Tournament week. Hopefully with the Broncos not playing until the semifinals at 6, and we'll get out there for a couple hours and watch some games all day on the screens, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So appreciate you guys. Go tell your friends. Go subscribe if you can. You can go check out our hour-long plus post-game show, all of our interviews with Leon, with Al, with Tyson, all of our highlights. I think there's about a 4-minute highlight video that Jaden put together as well. All of our post-game coverage is up on our YouTube channel of Bronco Nation News and BroncoNationNews.com. I think the YouTube channel is just youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. So appreciate you guys as always for checking us out. Quick turnaround from last night, but good viewership again today. So it seems like a lot of you guys are buying in here and excited about basketball season and the potential here down the stretch. So appreciate you guys as always for checking us out. Tell your friends, go subscribe if you can. At a minimum, I always say this, but you watched a free show on YouTube here, so at least retweet the video, share the video, give it a like. And if you're not already a YouTube subscriber, knock that out while you're here real quick and give us a subscription on YouTube. We've surpassed 6,600 YouTube subscribers. We'd love to get to 7,000 if we could by the end of the basketball season here. So 400 to go. So give us a YouTube subscription, tell your friends, and appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Jay Tuss and I will be back at 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll get you set for the Fresno State contest and maybe talk a little football and Mountain West settlement with the Pac-12 with Jay tomorrow as well. But appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Nice win for Boise State. Enjoy it today. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Bronco Nation News Live, BroncoNationNews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, The Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.